tuned into the right place. Welcome to the rain. Golden Queuing. H2.0. Yeah. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear.
Welcome to the Queendom, it's 2.0 on your screen, where the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and rearrange. If you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must.
This ain't just another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators, building up a better scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message in the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought.
Ooh, so come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me envy. Unleash the dragon.
Subscribe, ring that notification bell. Yeah, you don't wanna miss a thing. Welcome to the family. Yeah.
On the bill is looking faded and frayed. The fourth estate is corporate owned and heavily paid. They're trading in the facts for a narrative fabricated. If you leak the truth, you get deleted and degraded. Look, the teleprompter's glowing with the scripted out deception. A digital infection to manipulate perception. They steer the conversation in a singular direction, while the First Amendment's dying with no hope of resurrection. It's a manufactured crisis, yeah, they're selling us the fear. Whispering the lies until it's all the people here. They call it fact-checking just to keep the vision blurry, while they bury every whistleblower in a frantic hurry.
Silence in the streets, silence in the booth. A total moratorium on anyone with truth. They're tearing out the pages, yeah, they're burning down the fence. A war against the people and against our common sense. It's the sound of the violin. It's heavy and it's cold. It's the sound of the violin. It's heavy and it's cold. Check the independent outlets, yeah, they're catching all the heat. The ones who skip the press release and actually hit the beat. But the algorithms weaponize, the reach is getting throttled. The spirit of the journalist is suffocated bottle. They shadow ban the brave and they platform the fake. It's a psychological game with the highest of stakes. If you don't toe the line, then they label you a threat, putting filters on your mouth like a suffocating net. They claim they're stopping harm, but they're only stopping thought. Democracy is auctioned and the airwaves have been bought. The gatekeepers are frantic, they're losing their control, so they're trying to put a padlock on the collective soul. They're cutting the wires, they're pulling the plugs, treating the seekers of truth like the thugs. From the boardrooms to the courtrooms, the pressure is rising. The depth of the discourse of what they're devising. The spark in the dark is a beautiful thing. Let the bells of the rebels and dissidents ring. Of peace if the cost is your tongue. The songs of the ancestors are waiting to be sung. They want us quiet, compliant, and staring at the floor while they're locking up the exits and they're bolting every door. But the truth is a frequency they can't fully jam. I'm a man with a mind, I'm not a ghost in their program. No more silence. The loudest thing in the world is the truth they try to hide. Keep the mic on, keep the eyes open. Keep the eye canvas silent.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden. I'm back with another video, y'all. We got a few things we're gonna get into. It is the top of February, so happy February to everybody. And it is about 12:07 p.m. here in the afternoon Eastern time in the Carolinas and the United States. And child, we got snow. We got a pretty decent amount. I think it's about 5 or 6 inches. And it's nice and fluffy and fresh out there. And the sun is also shining. So I don't know how long it'll be out there with that sun shining, but it is out there. And we were out this morning playing in it. Me, my mom, my son, and my dog. And we had a good time, y'all. But I'm back inside now because I wanted to come back and talk about a few things with y'all. We got a few updates. We got some good information coming in. Things are looking up. And so we're going to go ahead and get into it. I hope you all are having an excellent Sunday in whatever respectful time zone you're in, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And I don't know what kind of weather y'all got where you're at, but I hope everybody is doing well and you're safe. And remember, in these type of, inclement weathers, such as like snow or sleet, ice, even rain and flooding, you want to make sure that you're staying careful when you're traveling and you're on the road. And even if you're out there just walking, y'all. So everybody be safe. There could be ice up under the snow and stuff. So you want to make sure y'all are being safe when you're outside. But we're going to go ahead and get into this live, y'all. I'm going to give y'all a brief synopsis of what we are talking about. So we are starting this February 1st off with a massive news cycle that is shaking up everything from the suburbs of Texas to the waters of the Persian Gulf. We got 4 major stories to break down today. A historical political upset in a deep red Texas district that hasn't flipped in over 30 years, y'all, has flipped around. We also have a chilling regional war warning from Iran's supreme leader as a U.S. Armada closes in. We'll also be getting into a $75 million media flop for the First Lady. And we also will get into the return of Don Lemon after a federal arrest that has reignited the fight for the First Amendment. This is a lot to unpack. So let's get into it. I'm going to give y'all a little bit more information about what's going on in Texas. So, Democrat Taylor Ramett, a veteran and union leader, won the special election for Texas Senate in District 9 on Saturday, January 31st, so yesterday. He defeated Trump-backed Republican Lee Wambsgans, I don't think I said that right, with 57% of the vote. This seat hasn't been held by a Democrat since 1981. It's located in Tarrant County, historically a Republican stronghold. President Trump carried this district by 17 points in 2024. Democrats are calling this a warning sign for the 2026 upcoming midterms. All right, now when we get into Iran war warning, today, February 1st, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, I don't think I said that right either, warned that any U.S. strike will trigger a regional war. This is a direct response to President Trump sending a massive armada led by the USS Abraham Lincoln to the Arabian Sea. The U.S. is pressuring Iran over its nuclear program and its crackdown on domestic protests. Iran is currently conducting live fire drills in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical oil shipping route, today and tomorrow. Excuse me, y'all. We also want to get into Melania's film debut. The documentary Melania, directed by Brett Ratner, premiered on January 30th. Despite a $40 million budget and a $35 million marketing push, it grossed only $2.9 million on its opening day. Due to poor theatrical turnout, the film is expected to move to Prime Video and DVD much faster than planned. The film follows the 20 days leading up to the 2025 inauguration. Critics call it a vanity project, while the First Lady says it is her truth. And we also are going to be getting into our boy Don Lemon and his return. As we know, Don Lemon was arrested by federal agents on January 29th in Los Angeles on charges related to his coverage of a protest at a Minnesota church. He was released on January 30th without bail. Lemon was defiant outside the court, saying that he will not be silenced. The DOJ is charging him under the FACE Act. You know, we talked about that over here, y'all, claiming he interfered with religious freedoms. Lemon argues he was simply doing his job as a journalist. So, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this information. So, per usual, y'all know I have some videos and some audios to let y'all see and listen to. The first one that we're going to get into, y'all, is going to be a news report video. So let me go ahead and get that up on the screen. And we'll be talking about the win in Texas. Give me just a second to get this set up, y'all. The StreamYard is moving kind of slow today. I do apologize. Could probably due to the weather. All right, let's go ahead and get this up here. So this is a report from MS Now. This is what Republicans get, okay? Texas Democrats defeat Trump's back candidate in state Senate runoff. Let's get into this report. It is about 8 minutes long. We'll watch it together. And per usual, I will meet y'all in the chat.
Good morning. It is Sunday, February 1st. Today, could it be a preview of the midterms? A major upset in Texas as a Democrat wins a special state Senate election by double digits in a district Trump won by a landslide.
Then two major court decisions in the Minnesota ICE crackdown, including a scathing ruling ordering 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father to be freed from ICE detention. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison will join us.
And it was the week America moved closer to autocracy, with journalists arrested, a lost election relitigated, ICE set to expand its footprint, and so much more. Grab your coffee, settle in, and welcome to the weekend.
Welcome to the weekend. I'm Jonathan Capehart, along with Eugene Daniels and Jackie Alamany. We begin with a major Democratic upset in a Texas state Senate election runoff. Late last night, Democrat Taylor Remick was declared the winner over Republican Lee Wamsgans by double digits in the state's deep red 9th district that President Trump won by 17 points in 2024. Remick is a 33-year-old local union leader and first-time candidate whose race caught outsized attention after he overperformed in November's election, triggering the runoff. Remick has since received a surge of support from Democratic groups, including the DNC. It's also another loss for President Trump, who posted on Truth Social just before the runoff. Lee Wamsgans, a Republican running for the state Senate in the suburbs of Fort Worth, Texas, will be a great candidate and has my complete and total endorsement. Jackie, Eugene, there's some caveats to put out there.
Right.
It's a state Senate race. It's a runoff, so turnout
Special
is
election,
low, or special election. Yeah,
Saturday.
Yeah. But the key thing is you can't go from a 17-point win by the president in 24 and then win by 14 points as the Democrat, even in a state Senate election. That's a 31-point swing. That has to send a huge signal, not only to the Democrats that maybe Texas is in play, but a huge signal to Republicans that Texas is not as safe as it seems.
One, it's a reminder to Democrats to play everywhere, right? You don't have to spend all your money in one bucket, but you should play everywhere. That's something that we hear a lot from younger Democrats, especially, that they want to see that from the party. Two, It's a reminder, I think, that Trump's unconditional endorsement and support doesn't actually come with any resources. So all these people who are worried that Trump in the primaries is going to endorse their opponent, Donald Trump doesn't throw money behind it when he does that, right? That's not what happens. And so it also tells you all the energy is, right? I think that's what you can extrapolate, is at the end of the day, people that are on the left, people that are upset about a lot of the things they're seeing from this administration, those are the people you're going to see in special elections. Those are the people you're going to see on Saturdays going to vote. And more importantly, those are the people you're going to see in the midterms voting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to digging into the crosstabs to see what the issues that voters were most galvanized on. But while Trump has still polled well on border security, we've obviously seen his numbers on interior immigration policy crater in the last few weeks. And while we've been super focused on Minnesota, Texas, at the end of the day, has become the epicenter for the detention operation that this administration is facilitating, with people like Liam,
Little Liam,
5-year-old Liam and his father, and countless other young children and some even legal U.S. citizens being detained, and Texans being exposed to some of these horrible and inhumane environments and situations that these people are now experiencing. I think it's probably inevitable that is seeping into the bloodstream with people living in that area, and it's not just news feeds that these stories are getting fed out on. It's now, I think, people are really taking them to heart.
Every single poll you see is people saying they don't like the interior enforcement of what we're seeing. There was also this Texas House race, the 18th district one, that is also very interesting. It was blue to begin with. You look at 67.5 to 32.5. Those are two Democrats here. But listen to what Hakeem Jeffries, the current leader in the House for Democrats, said on Politics Nation just yesterday about this.
Switch to turbo.
We need a clear path forward, and we haven't had that discussion with the White House or anyone within the administration. And the things that we've talked about needing to occur, and we understand that we're going to have to build this into law, and that's what's contemplated, we believe, at least, over the next 2 weeks, are things like no masks, body cameras being mandatory. We need judicial warrants before ICE can storm homes or rip people out of their cars in the horrific ways that we've been seeing.
You know, that's Jeffries telling everyone that when you add in this Texas House race and all of the other things that have happened, 218 is the number you need in Congress. You know what number Speaker Johnson has? 218. And that is Jeffries telling everyone that Democrats are not going to help on this bill that the Senate just passed.
And you know, this is what Republicans get. And I say that, I know it's a little vengeance on a Sunday morning, but let me explain.
Where's Jesus grace?
From President Trump to the Speaker, they have said from the very beginning, we don't need Democrats. Yeah. We have the majority. Right. We can pass whatever we want. We will do whatever we want. And what Speaker Johnson has found is that he can't. Even when he had the same size majority Speaker Pelosi had, he has not been able to herd the cats as well as she was. And so, to the finer point, when your majority sits at 218, you can't lose a single vote. And Speaker Johnson has always lost the vote of one Republican member of Congress. His name is Thomas Massey. And so when you tie votes, correct me if I'm wrong, tie votes in the House means that the bill dies. It loses.
Yeah, you have to win. You have to win.
Yeah. So if it's 218, it's not going. Whatever the math works.
Whatever.
It's not gonna pass. So Speaker Johnson's in trouble. But wait, what does this
Unless
mean?
he decides to bring Marjorie Taylor Greene back.
Yeah,
I mean, this is an immediate headache for them, but Republicans are expecting to pick up another seat in March to fill Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat. But still, we have a long time between now and March.
Yeah. Can he lose the gavel? Real quick before we switch. Can he lose the gavel?
To get rid of him, they'd have to have, I think it's 8 people who to vacate the chair. They changed that rule. So he could, if they vacated the chair, and then Hakeem Jeffries could do it.
I didn't go that far. I was just like, numerically, if he keeps losing people.
No, because he's still the speaker, even if the if the
even if he's
majority
got
ends up being
118,
Democrat.
118
He
seats.
was elected. Welcome to democracy.
All right, y'all. So as we can see, we are, things are balancing out, right? And so I say that to be respectful because I do understand that everybody is not necessarily a Democrat. Everybody's not necessarily a Republican. Some people may be independents. We all may be on whatever side we're on. I typically try to consider myself an independent. I just want things to be done that's going to be beneficial for all of us. I don't care too much about the left or the right. Are things going to be put in place that are going to make things better for all of us as citizens in the country? I'm speaking about my country, the United States, but I want this and I hope that this can be how things can be ran and operated in all countries. And we know some countries are not under so-called democracies, or they may be under dictatorships and things of that nature. And so what I really always hope and pray and wish and fight for and speak up for is that we are paying attention to the needs of the people and that the people are being taken care of as the government is supposed to do. Look out for your people. Make sure that they're good. And so as we see now, there are some shifts that are happening. Some things are going left, some things are going right. I believe, and I pray for balance. And I think that God is intending to bring that said balance to all things, even within the government and political sector. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the second news report. And this one is maybe not as great, but we need to pay attention to what is going on and keep ourselves aware. So the next news report video that I'm going to show you guys is coming from MS Now as well. And we're going to be talking about Iran and the US. So there are tensions now that are rising between us here in the US, not me, but the United States and Iran. So we're going to go ahead and get into this news report real quick. And excuse me, this is live now from Fox. So let's go ahead and put this up on the screen and hear a little bit of what is going on. And then after we listen to that, we're going to get into even more details when we hear directly from Iran leadership, speaking exactly to what maybe we can look forward to in the United States based off of what we do, how they may respond. So get into a little bit of that, y'all. Let me go ahead and play this to get this ad out of the way. All right, let's get into it 1 second.
I'm Shauna Khalafi. We are following the latest out of the situation in Iran. We know that thousands have been killed as the Islamic regime brutalizes protesters. Activists saying that number could be much higher than the reports. We also know that President Trump has given repeated warnings to the Islamic regime in Iran about possible U.S. strikes as the U.S. is building up its military presence in the region. We are following this closely, and for more on this, we want to bring in Associated Press reporter Farnoosh Amiri. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's start with the latest news from overnight. We know there were several blasts reported within Iran in different cities. According to state TV, there are at least 5 people killed, several others injured. The Iranian government blaming gas leaks for those explosions, although some were speculating there may have been an attempted assassination of a naval commander. The state denied that. What do we know so far about these blasts, as both the U.S. and Israel also saying they were not involved? What do we know?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. If you paid attention the last time tension this high between the U.S. and Iran. You saw that, what began to be a 12-day war with Israel really started as these, incidents happening and no one really taking credit for them or taking responsibility. And obviously the government of Iran not being straightforward about what were the causes of these incidents. And so, everyone is watching to see if these incidents are directly related to the threats that the U.S. has made against Iran in recent weeks, and whether or not it's a warning, it's a strategic, symbolic move, or it's going to become an all-out war. And I think what Iranian officials have told me is that they see any move by the U.S. or Israel as an all-out war. They are not going to be, according to them, as apprehensive and as restrained as they were in June of last year when both the U.S. and Israel struck, major targets inside Iran, including several nuclear facilities.
And we know that thousands of Iranians have been killed in these anti-regime protests. President Trump has told the government to stop that violence towards protesters. He even said that help was on the way for the Iranian people. But as you've been reporting lately, it seems like he's been more vocal about deterring Iran's nuclear program. So explain this shift and what exactly is Trump demanding from the Iranian government at this point?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. I mean, talking to folks inside Iran and outside, many were waiting for President Trump to take action against the Islamic Republic. He even went as far as saying help is on the way and encouraged thousands of people to continue protesting. And many of those people, as you said, were killed. And the death toll is still unknown to most independent journalists and even human rights watchers. So it was a very interesting move by the president to say something like that at such a heightened tension inside Iran. But in recent weeks, he has taken on that focus on the protesters and shifted it, zoomed out to the 30,000-foot view of the nuclear program. Obviously, the U.S. has been, from Republican and Democratic presidents alike, has targeted Iran's nuclear activities, has accused it of wanting to build a nuclear bomb, despite Iran insisting that they have a peaceful nuclear program. And, the president of the United States has said that this was always going to be about, cutting down the nuclear threat that they believe Iran poses. But it has been interesting to see how he has shifted away from the protests and wanting to respond to the thousands killed to wanting to make a deal with Iran.
And both President Trump and Iranian officials have said that they would like to reach a deal, but they've also said that they are ready to fight if it comes to that. So where does this stand now? Are there any conversations in the works? And what are we hearing from both sides as of late?
I mean, there's so many efforts right now to squash the tensions, right? We have regional players, including, our reporting of Oman, Turkey, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. I mean, Saudi Arabia defense minister came all the way to Washington yesterday to get this message across to the U.S. officials directly. And we have, there's reporting about Qatari officials going to Tehran today. So there are efforts from all the regional actors to be able to lower the temperature on this. But the question remains, will that work? I mean, we saw what was happening. The Iranians were in Oslo, ready to have the sixth round of talks last year when Israel struck and U.S. followed. So it's really unclear whether these moves are meant to be de-escalating, or they're meant to be, a similar playbook that the U.S. played last year, which is kind of catching Iran off guard by bringing up the notion of wanting a deal.
And he spoke a little bit about the other leaders in the region who have said that if the U.S. strikes Iran, that it could lead to a more widespread regional conflict. So if there is a U.S. strike, what can we expect to come afterwards? What other countries could get involved here?
I mean, what's been really interesting this time around that was not the case last in June is that several of those regional allies, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Oman, have said that their airspaces are closed to any efforts by the U.S. to strike Iran. So the U.S. has in some ways less of a green light from those countries than it did this time, than it did last year. And so they have really just drawed the line. And obviously the Arab states are warning Iran that if the U.S. does strike, they should be really, really calculated in how they respond. Last time in June, they responded by hitting a U.S. airspace in Qatar. And obviously that really broke up the relationship, the close ties that Qatari and Iranian officials have together. So there's been lots of warnings by both sides. What remains now is, will they heed to those warnings?
And last thing here, something that we're watching very closely this weekend, and the U.S. government also going to be watching, Iran conducting some live fire naval drills Sunday and Monday in the Strait of Hormuz. So the U.S. has already moved an aircraft carrier nearby, and they've warned Iran to not get too close to American forces when they do these drills. So what can we expect from the drills and the possible aftermath of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the amount of U.S. military assets in the region are not to be understated right now. Obviously, it is not to the extent of which the U.S., the military buildup in Venezuela before the capturing of Maduro earlier this month, but it is significant. And it isn't, these aren't just these aren't just acts to show off, and it's very much calculated. And what Iran is doing is they're showing that this is their region. They are able to practice and do live drills. And what will be interesting to see is how much restraint both sides pose, as they conduct these drills tomorrow.
All right, guys. So we have just a brief introduction as to what is going on, but we also want to hear directly from the leadership in Iran. He does a speech. So we're going to play that video next, but I got to go ahead and take a quick song break, y'all. After this song break, we're going to go ahead and get into that video and hear directly from him, and we will be right back. Thank you for joining me and rocking with me. I'm going to see y'all in just a bit.
The air is thick with whispers, digital ghosts in the machine. They feed us fiction till our vision's blurred, you know the scene. Static on the screen, a 24-hour scream, selling us a fractured dream, tearing at the seams. They got us locked in little boxes, picking sides, while the real tide rises and nobody hides. Yo, podiums are burning, bridges turn to ash and dust. They trading rhetoric like bullets, banking on our lack of trust. Got us debating pronouns while the planet starts to rust. Got us obsessed with power, drowning in our own disgust. Politicians playing chess with pawns that look like you and me, selling off the future for a bump in their damn GDP. And what we talking about, the foolishness, the vanity, fighting over AI songs, the height of our insanity. A fake voice on a fake beat gets more rage and more ink than a real bomb dropping on a city while we blink. They engineered the outrage, designed it to divide, so we never look up from our phones to see the coming tide. Oh, can you hear the war drums pounding out a rhythm low? They're marching us to battle for a God we do not know. They want us choosing colors, but our blood all runs the same.
the babies born into this atmospheric hate. Taught to fear their neighbor before they learn to conjugate. Lines drawn in the sand by hands that never touch the soil, while the working class backbone is bent in endless toil. From Ferguson to Palestine, from Kiev to the Sudan. Listen, it's the same damn story, part of the same damn plan. Keep the people fighting over scraps upon the floor, so they never band together and demand a slice of more. They call it patriotism, tradition, call it pride. I call it ancient venom with a modern place to hide. Skin tone is the uniform they gave us for they war, but the soul inside the flesh is what we should be fighting for. And I'm tired, so tired of singing this eulogy. Oh, can you hear the war drums pounding out a rhythm low? They're marching us to battle for a God we do not know. They want us choosing colors, but our blood all runs the same. Just strangers in a mirror whispering a different name. I'm praying for the day the sun won't care what shade we are. That we can see the human heart behind the battle scar. Tear down the flags and see the faces before we run out of safe places. What if we looked each other in the eye, past the melanin, past the zip codes and the bank accounts they fence us in? What if our only currency was empathy and grace? What if we found our real reflection in a stranger's face? This ain't a lyric, it's a lifeline that I'm throwing out. This ain't a song, it's the beginning of a different route. I'm a daughter of a struggle, a mother of a dream, to wash away the blood and poison from this bitter stream. So turn the volume down on all the noise they try to sell, and listen to that quiet voice inside you know so well. World War III is knocking, they're at the door, but it's not nation against nation anymore. It's ignorance against wisdom, it's love against the fear. The real war is right here.
All right, y'all. So thanks for rocking with me through that song break. We're going to go ahead and get into this next video. So the next one I'm going to be playing you guys is from Al Jazeera English news reporting channel. And basically, Iran's leadership is warning an attack by the U.S. would lead to a regional war. And we know we don't need that, but let's go ahead and listen in and see what they have to say, y'all. We got to get into this, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and play this and watch it with y'all, and I'll meet y'all in the chat per usual.
Strike force is still positioned in the Middle East as a tense standoff between Iran and the United States continues. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, says an attack by Washington would lead to a regional war. He says Iranians should not be afraid of Donald Trump's threats.
In the past, Americans repeatedly made threats in their statements saying that all options are on the table and all options include the option of war. Now, this man also keeps claiming that they have sent aircraft carriers and so on. In my view, the Iranian nation should not be frightened by such things. The people of Iran are not influenced by this kind of talk. We are not the initiators of war. We do not want to oppress anyone or attack any country, but in response to anyone who seeks to attack, the Iranian nation will deliver a strong blow. Americans should also know that if they start a war this time, it will be a regional war.
But diplomatic efforts continue. Donald Trump says Iran is talking seriously with the US about the prospect of landing a deal to avoid military action. Trump said he hopes they will secure something that is acceptable for both countries. The US president has threatened to take military action against Tehran in response to a deadly crackdown on anti-government protests.
Make a negotiated deal that would be satisfactory with no nuclear weapons. And they should do that, but I don't know that they will, but they are talking to us. Seriously talking to us.
We are now joined by Yusuf Al-Abada, who is a military analyst. He joins us from the Turkish capital, Ankara. Thanks so much for being with us here on Al Jazeera. First of all, how do you assess where things stand right now? Well, on one hand, we've got Donald Trump saying that Iran is talking seriously with the United States, but then we hear from Iran's supreme leader saying any military action is going to lead to a full regional conflict.
Yeah, in any case, Iran is open to all kinds of negotiations and suitable for such kind of negotiations at the very critical time. The history showed us that Iran is threatening, using a lot of threatening words, but at the very end is always suitable for a handshake and for a negotiation. For these purposes, Donald Trump sent one of the biggest naval fleets to the Iranian sea border, but at the same time, Iran now has a live fire drills at the very close distance to the Strait of Hormuz. For this reason, there are two things that the United States can hit Iran, but Iran is ready to escalate the situation. But at the back door, they are ready for any kind of negotiations. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkey the day before yesterday met lots of connections with the Iranian counterparts. And the President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is also talking with the president of Iran, Pezeshkian. For this reason, there are two sides. One of them is going militarily. The other side is going a backdoor diplomacy in order to prevent the clashes in between the United States and Iran.
Right. You brought up these live fire drills that the Revolutionary Guard saying the Navy's carrying out. Can you just talk us through just how significant they are, especially as it appears they're going to be doing it in the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, the Strait of Hormuz is a very narrow choke point, and 20% of the oil and LNG passes through by using this very narrow strait. For this reason, Iran is threatening all the world that they can close it. And the United States Navy strike group is there not only for attacking Iran only, but also at the same time demining this area, because Iran is using smart mining things very close to this area. For this reason, Iran's Navy drill is something like a muscle flex and trying to threaten the United States, not threatening the existence of the United States Navy fleet, but threatening its safety, because Iran has fast attack gunboats, which is on the sea, and they are more than 1,000 fast gunboats, especially in this area,
right?
And they can harm the United States Navy fleets in this area. For this reason, U.S. Navy's existence not in the danger, but its safety is in danger.
Okay, thanks so much, Yusuf, for talking us through all of that. We'll have to leave it there for the moment. We do appreciate your time, Yusuf Al-Bada, for us there in Ankara.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.
All right, y'all. So we were able to hear in both of those videos just exactly, what is going on and where we're at right now with the United States and Iran. We do not need any more wars. We do not need this. And so we are hoping and praying, or I'm hoping and praying, that it won't go that far, and none of these things come to pass. That is my prayer for us, for all of us. But we're going to go ahead and move right along. We're going to get into some celebrity news, if that's what you want to call it, y'all. Because this one right here, I believe that's what she really sees herself as, is a celebrity. But we're going to be getting into Melania Trump in this documentary that she put out that seems to be a flop, child. So we're going to have a video I'm going to show you guys with some hilarious reports, honestly, from none other than Reese Waters. He's going to go ahead and get into this so excellently as he does, and really break down exactly what is going on with that show. I don't know how y'all feel about this. Y'all might not think it's funny. I'm just... a lot of this stuff is really starting to balance out. And, you know, karma is a heck of a thing. It really is. But these people, you know, they take taxpayers' money. They keep all the money. They don't want to help the people. They want to invest only in themselves and what they want. And so, you know, this is what you do. You go out, you try to make movies, you try to write books, and I guess the people ain't checking for it. So we'll see, y'all. I guess it's never a fun thing to have a flop, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let me put this up on the screen for y'all real quick, and we'll watch it together, and I will meet y'all in the chat per usual. But it seemed like everybody just want to be a celebrity these days. I don't know. I guess it's in the cards for some and not for all. Anyway, I'm going to meet y'all over in the chat. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Fun's not infectious, and the guests are a nightmare. And 2 hours of Melania feels like pure, endless hell. Hey, you know what? I'm a man of the people anyway. No, go to Rotten Tomatoes. I'd rather rewatch January 6th. Honestly, I'll be surprised if they didn't put a stage play together. I'm sure that's coming to the Kennedy Center soon. I wouldn't be shocked. Wow. Melania, you better hope the late night hosts don't get a hold of this. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm struggling right now. I'm like a lot of you guys. I've been stuck inside with the kids, and it's got so bad. We just fantasizing about stuff we can do when the outside open back up, you know. And they not handling that well. I thought it was a good idea. I thought it was a good idea. I don't know why they reacted like this. You know, I thought they would be excited to go see a show. Huh? Yeah, I got the idea on because AMC sold it to me. They told me Melania is now playing in AMC theaters. Get your tickets now. I should have known when they had to turn the comments off. When they turned the comments off, that's when I should have known it was a problem. No, I ain't never seen AMC have to turn the comments off for a movie. How bad could it be? A new film, Melania, so bad that if they screened it on planes, people would still walk out early. Well, to be fair, everybody always excited to leave the plane, though, if we honest. We maybe just stretch your legs even. If Syphilis were a movie from IndieWire, come on now. You can't get rid of no syphilis in 2 hours. That don't even make sense. I don't think. That's what I heard. I can't understand a effing thing she says from Variety. Should be considered a war crime. Hollywood Reporter. Like being taken hostage by the Taliban. Well, the language thing I don't got to worry about because I went and got IMAX. So yeah, they leave you room on the screen. I can't speak to the whole Taliban thing though. Watching Milana's journey from Slovenian. Okay, all right. That's crazy. They saying all that in the review. That's not what they put on the trailer.
Here we go again.
You can come in. Come on in. My proudest legacy will be that of peacemaker.
Peacemaker and in the fire. Beautiful. Together with like-minded leaders, we have a voice. Is it safe?
It is safe.
Everyone wants to know. So here it is. Hi, Mr. President. Congratulations.
Did you watch it?
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news.
You know what? I should have waited till it came out in England. You know what I mean? Because they ahead, so that could have given me a heads up. It did what now? The London debut of Melania reportedly sold just one ticket for the 3 p.m. screening and 2 for the 6 p.m. Meanwhile, across 28 scheduled showings in Blackburn, Castleford, and Hamilton, every seat remained unsold. Well done, England. They just be saying that. They just be saying that. Ain't like they got footage of the empty theaters or nothing like that.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a
You can't trust the British, though. And how many thugs you found out had English accents? I know, they was probably drinking tea during the breaks or shooting the wire. You can't trust the English. Ain't like that happened over here. Not a single ticket sold for the opening night of Melania at Boston's largest theater. There's now a Craigslist listing that will pay you to go see Melania in Boston right now. That's probably for the affordability, for the affordability kick that they. That's bad. That's bad. Hey, on the bright side, at least they're not making videos about it.
Did you see this shit? What the fuck is this? It's a Boston Craigslist post for free Melania tickets plus $50 just to go see her shitty ass movie. Oh, that's a hard pass. Definitely. You couldn't pay me to go see that garbage, right? I've already seen Pretty Woman. I know how the story ends. Ha! Did you see the Variety review? It said, if the Melania documentary was shown on a plane, people would still get up and leave.
She made a whole video. She said Pretty Woman. Yeah, they're gonna use that meme too. The release of Melania Trump's documentary is being canceled all over the world. To date, the movie that Jeff Bezos invested $75 million in has only netted $1 million in pre-sales. That was Epstein in the meme right there. They connected those two. It's probably going to be more so now. Wow. But you know, that's blue country. That's blue country up there in Massachusetts. Ain't like it was Tennessee or nothing like that. Opening night in dark red Tennessee.
I think it's exciting, no matter the outcome. It's the evolution of the Southern heart.
Well, that's a lot of options. I got to go see movies in Tennessee more often. That's a nice selection they got there of seats. You could get a whole row.
So the Melania movie is out here doing numbers. Just not the kind of numbers you brag about. Empty theaters, soft sales, seats so lonely, they're starting a group chat and group therapy. This is giving matinee ghost. And the best part, I am sat for Felon 47's reaction. You already know he's going to wake up, see the headlines, and start rage posting like his phone owes him money. Caps lock, exclamation points. Rigged box office. The cinemas are corrupt. He's about to blame AMC, the Academy, the Deep State, Rotten Tomatoes, and probably Taylor Swift for good measure. Because in his world, nothing ever flops. It's never the audience just didn't care. It's sabotage. It's a conspiracy against the cinema. He's gonna say it's the most beautiful documentary ever made. He's going to claim millions tried to see it. He's going to hint that the ticket machines were turned off. He's going to fabricate another lie. The demand was so high, it crashed the Fandango app. Meanwhile, the popcorn is still warm because nobody touched it. But if Michelle Obama dropped a movie tomorrow, it would be sold out everywhere. Lines around the block, extra shows added, people calling in sick to work. That's what real culture pull looks like. But the real question begs to be answered. Where was his maggot base? Where was the We Love Melania people? Where are the flags, the caravans, the bulk ticket buys, the performative loyalty? Because if this woman was really beloved, the theaters would have been packed with red hats and folding chairs. They show up for rallies in cornfields. They camp out for merch. But for her movie? Crickets. Not a single patriotic popcorn in sight. They don't love Melania. They perform love for Melania when it's useful. They pretend devotion online. They vanish when it requires effort or money. It's all vibes, no action. All caps, no receipts. So yeah, they're all liars. The loudest fans are also the flakiest. Turns out Ride or Die stops at the box office. So in the meantime, tantrum loading, truth social meltdown imminent, blame buffet fully stocked. I can't wait. And that's the read.
Now, how much money did that say this cost Jeff Bezos? So Jeff Bezos spent the whole Washington Post sports section money on this? The most creative part of Melania, the infamous, critical, and popular flop, is its financing. The Trumps pocketed $28 million from Jeff Bezos. This tidy sum is more than Amazon has ever paid for a documentary, including some that had facts in them. But Melania is already a front-runner at the Oscars for Best Political Score by a U.S. oligarch and Best Foreign Actress in a supporting role for an American coup, Russian language original. Man, that's horrible. I ain't never seen a movie get this kind of reaction. Not even the Tubi movies be getting dragged like this. This is the kind of movie you feel bad for all the people that worked on it.
The Melania documentary is already a box office flop. It turns out that nobody wants to see a dictator's wife's $75 million home movie. 2/3 of the crew who worked on the movie asked to be uncredited, kind of like the people who cashed their $50,000 bonus check from ICE and then cover their fugly faces while they cause terror in American streets. And yes, I know that the movie industry is very difficult right now, and joining ICE is not the same as working on the Melania movie, but it's a little bit the same. The crew also said they worked long hours, which were deeply chaotic, and they were also often denied lunch breaks. The fact that this movie was funded by Amazon and they are treating the crew members exactly like their Amazon workers is no surprise. The crew pretty much blames director Brett Ratner for their hard working conditions, but it is funny that they told Rolling Stone that even though Ratner was slimy, Melania Trump, while boring, was totally nice. Of course she was totally nice. This woman made $30 million for this home movie. This is in The Guardian about how it's apparently totally legal for Melania to get paid $30 million for a documentary. And it's because she isn't part of the government. She's just a private citizen who happens to be married to the president. So yeah, of course she was nice on set. She was getting paid. So that's what Jeff Bezos is doing with your money that you spend on Amazon. He's giving it to Melania Trump. I mean, he's also getting lots of plastic surgery with his wife, something that they should definitely both stop doing. The movie was directed by Hollywood super creep Brett Ratner. Now, I don't know if they chose Brett because of his sexual assault allegations or because he's on the Epstein list, but I have a feeling it was both. This is what happens when fascists try to make art in a late-stage capitalistic society where everyone is struggling to pay their bills. Because even if you already believe the propaganda, you can't even afford to spend the money to go see it in the theater. And because MAGA are both so anti-immigrant and anti-woman, there's no way they're going to spend money to see their dictator's immigrant wife's soulless, elongated selfie of a movie with the appeal of a dead jellyfish on the beach. And if Melania is sad about the fact that no one came to see her movie, I think it's really important that we tell her, I don't really care. Do you?
That's crazy. Can you imagine spending that much time of your life on something and you don't even want your name on it? But that name rings a bell. Brett Ratner. Don't I know him? That's the dude who directed Rush Hour? And now he doing Melania? What happened? Let's see. Brett Ratner. We got the Rush Hour movies. What has happened to Brett Ratner, filmmaker, exiled from Hollywood after misconduct allegations in 2017? And this was his comeback. They always find each other, don't they? Don't they always find each other? That is nuts. How they all ran it. Next thing you gonna tell me Robert Kraft was at the Kennedy Center opening. He did he bring his masseuse over there too? He went by himself? That makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. Melania Trump documentary faces empty theaters amid critic backlash. Reports of sparse crowds, like one London screening with a single ticket sold, contrast fan raves of historic artwork as box office projections hover at $5 to $8 million domestically from 1,800 U.S. theaters.
All right, y'all. I'm over here cracking up. I'm so sorry. Like, I've laughed so hard that my eyes is watering. But we're like at the 1 hour mark here. So I got to go ahead and take a quick song break. When we come back, we're going to play the rest of this shot. You cannot make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Anyway, let's take this quick song break, y'all. I will be right back. I'm so sorry.
Check the bag, check the tag, check the greed. ICE agents hunting humans just to get the fee they need. They don't care about the name, they don't care about the face. Just a bounty on the soul, trying to scrub them from the plate. Getting paid by the head, yeah, they stacking up the bread while the families in the
the shadows, living life in constant dread. It's a business, it's a racket, it's a cold-blooded game. They'll snatch a father from his daughter just to justify the name. ICE is moving through the night for the love of money. They're trading souls for federal life. For the love of money. They're apprehend anyone for pay. Doesn't matter who you are, they're gonna take you away. For that lean, green, the system's got them all that need. I need the racks, but not like that, no. I need the plaque, but keep the fat straight. YouTube views got them acting real strange. Selling out the culture for some digital change. Click the struggle, monetize the pain. While the agents in the street are washing blood with the rain. They're getting paid to hunt, I'm getting paid to speak. The government is green and the sports are so weak. Check the analytics, check the borderline. The greed in the district's gonna drive us out our mind. Apprehending for a bonus, that's a soul-crushing crime. Let you have it, I'd rather have the truth. Stop trading our future and the spirits of our youth. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Don't let the algorithm change you. Money, 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 money. Your head full of talk. And standing tall for the people.
Y'all, let's go ahead and hear the rest of this show. You know, these people, this is what I'm saying, okay? The greed of it all of that money spent, all of that money down the drain. The film is a flop. I don't even understand what she thought she was doing with this. Like, did she really think this was something that people wanted to really come and see? I don't understand. I'd be confused. I'm very confused. Like, where is the logic when it comes to these people? Like, do you really care? Do you really think that we care? Well, anyway, let's keep moving.
That's weird. Elon Musk let that go on his platform? He didn't suppress that? Huh, that's weird. I wonder if he got a bone to pick with the administration about something.
Social Security Administration now says members of Elon Musk's Doge team working at the agency last year accessed and shared sensitive data. In a court filing earlier this month, the Trump administration amended what it had previously disclosed, writing that one Doge employee at SSA signed an agreement with an unnamed political advocacy group to analyze voter rolls to, quote, find evidence of voter fraud and to overturn election results in certain states.
Oh no, I hadn't even gotten around to that, but coming soon. Last year, Elon Musk said Jeffrey Epstein tried to get him to go to his island, but he refused. New emails show Elon Musk actively asking Epstein what day/night will be the wildest party on the island. And the next year, Musk asked again if there was a good time to visit.
I don't know what went into that process. I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
Wow. Thirsty and dirty is a terrible combination. That is horrible. Imagine putting that tweet out that Trump was in the Epstein files when you were in the Epstein files.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need
That would be very MAGA now, wouldn't it? That would be extremely MAGA. Like commandeering the whole Kennedy Center and then not showing up to the red carpet. Right, Cabinet? Oh yeah, that was funny. Wow. Who knew Melania was this unpopular? I had no idea.
Historical critics don't really like Melania Trump either. I mean, just take a look. Historians' first lady rankings, the bottom three. Dead last, Melania Trump. When you're next to Jane Pierce and Margaret Taylor, those are not particularly good, although we were able to get a colored photo of Melania Trump.
And if you thought that was bad, from Variety, Melania, why would Amazon spend $75 million on a movie this boring? The film's box office prospects seem abysmal. It's tracking very low, and anecdotally, it became apparent that all of the 20 or so people in my screening room were, to a one, journalists reporting on the movie. Why would civilians care. After all, for much of its running time, Melania is primarily a film about a woman walking into and out of rooms. It'd be a variety of different opinions. You know, you never know. What Hollywood Reporter say? The Melania reviews are scathing. 2 hours of endless hell. This is a film that fawns so lavishly over its subject that you feel downright unpatriotic not gushing over it. The expensive propaganda doc is glossily shot and lushily scored, although for some reason Ratner keeps inserting segments shot on what looks like Super 8 film as to infuse the Trumps with some of that Kennedy-era aura. The Atlantic called the film a disgrace, saying Ratner seems desperate to find action, but there is none. The pace is stultifying mostly. Ratner captured his subject walking from liminal place to liminal place in 5-inch heels, the camera trailing her like a lapdog. Well, you know that's the Atlantic. You know the Atlantic not going to... Oh, keep reading. From The Guardian, Ratner's film plays like a gilded trash remake of Jonathan Glazer's The Zone of Interest, in which a button-eyed Cinderella points at gold baubles and designer dresses, cunningly distracting us while her husband and his cronies prepare to dismantle the Constitution and asset strip the federal government. The fun's not infectious and the guests are a nightmare. And 2 hours of Melania feels like pure, endless hell. Hey, you know what? I'm a man of the people anyway. No, go to Rotten Tomatoes. I'd rather rewatch January 6th. Honestly, I'll be surprised if they didn't put a stage play together. I'm sure that's coming to the Kennedy Center soon. I wouldn't be shocked. Wow. Melania, you better hope the late night hosts don't get a hold of this.
The new Melania documentary hits theaters on Friday. Great news if you're looking for a place to hide out from ICE.
Now, when you first heard that there was going to be a documentary about Melania, you probably thought, oh, or huh, or why, or can I undo my LASIK?
Alex Preddy was killed on Saturday, the same day they had the VIP screening of the movie at the White House. So the First Lady is not in a be-best mood right now. According to the writer Michael Wolff, Melania is bigly upset that the murders in Minneapolis are overshadowing the release of the $75 million documentary. Now, while she's promoting her film, she has to answer questions about it.
What is your message for America? I'm calling for unity.
Unity? Who needs tea? And, all right.
My passions, decorating the East Wing.
This story was never told before. Me, how I manage my business, family, and also establishing the East Wing.
Oh, no one's told her? Oh, God.
Madam First Lady, I have some terrible news. Let's just say the East Wing no longer be best.
I love the East Wing, especially how it will always be there.
Or be there.
It opened in Australia today amid cancelled screenings, empty cinemas, and just a handful of tickets sold.
Amazon believed in this movie suspiciously a lot.
Amazon bribed a whopping $40 million for the movie.
Amazon paid nearly 3 times more than the next highest bidder.
They even got director Brett Ratner, who you might know from Rush Hour or the Me Too movement.
And an additional $35 million for marketing, promotion, and distribution. So big box office, right? Wrong. Social media has been flooded with images of theaters in major cities that haven't sold a single seat. And
This was the first screening in Melbourne, where eventually we only counted 8 people in the audience. Only slightly fewer than President Trump's first inauguration.
It looked like 1.5 million people.
Here's another movie that wasn't necessary.
And they're spending a ton of money promoting it.
What did the president say to you? He loved it. He said, a must watch.
Well, for him, it is a must win. It's not for us. My guess is he saw the first 8 minutes and fell asleep in his popcorn bucket.
And estimates are that this $75 million movie would make only $1 or $2 million in its opening weekend. Usually to see Trump bomb this hard, you'd have to be on a Venezuelan fishing boat. We checked. I know. We checked.
Now, not all reviews are bad.
I thought it was really great.
People in the movie are giving it rave reviews. That's enough for me. It is not, however, getting a positive response for some of the people who worked on the film. According to Rolling Stone, 2/3 of the New York crew asked to have their names removed from the credits. Two is a lot of thirds. Two is maybe almost possibly even more than half.
Today, she went on the Fox and Friends to hype it up.
President Trump attended the premiere of First Lady Melania Trump's documentary, Melania, and he would have applauded, but these things are hanging on by a thread.
But whether this movie was a legitimate piece of art or a cash grab, it was a cash grab.
The First Lady will reportedly walk away with at least $28 million. Rolling Stone is reporting 2/3 of the film's New York crew asked not to be credited.
You didn't want to be in the credits, but how will they know who to give the trophy to at the FIFA Academy Awards?
I mean, did anybody enjoy it? Is anybody willing to go on record that went and saw this movie? Oh, here we go. We got somebody. Now, here's a question. I want to play a game. Would this person be let in the front door of Mar-a-Lago? How about that? How about would they be let in the front door at Mar-a-Lago? Okay, go. Back door. Definitely back door, for sure. No Mar-a-Lago face. It's no Mar-a-Lago face. They would be confused. Where's your delivery? They would be baffled by it. They might call security. Basement. Definitely basement. They would fire him without even hiring him just for showing up like that. Now were these theaters integrated at all? Did anybody? Oh, you did?
I saw the movie that came out today, and it's probably gonna gross like $700.
So Melania got this movie coming out. 20 days of history. 20 days of lying and fucking hiding. We haven't seen you until just recently, since he broke up with Elon. I mean, his mistress left the White House, and then I guess you moved back in. And since it's supposed to be about history, baby, could you just, let the truth be told about that centerfold when you was out here just letting your hang out for the world to see? It's funny how MAGA wanted to slut shame Kamala, but we all see Melania's hoo-ha. All I know is this movie better be directed by Tyler Perry so we can get the real story.
All right, so we're going to be moving past this in just a minute. It's just too hilarious. I just want y'all to hear and see a little bit of that. But y'all know, when it comes to this type of stuff, we got to use our minds. Like, we got to understand that there are people out here that are opportunists, and they get some money in their pocket, and they will just try anything and everything to see what they can be successful at. And a lot of times, they're not good at any of them, okay? So when it comes to like Melania Trump, if anybody don't really know like a lot of the history about her, is a few things to pay attention to that she has also failed in over the years. Okay. So Melania back in 2012 and 2013 had a caviar skincare line. She launched the Melania Caviar Complex C6, which was supposed to be a high-ended skincare line featuring actual caviar imported from the south of France. It was a massive disaster despite a splashy launch on a Celebrity Apprentice. The product barely made it to shelves. Now, the accusations around the scam was the line was derailed by a vicious legal war between her business partners, New Shine LLC, during a lawsuit, and a financial analyst testified that sales were very poor, claiming one store sold only 3 units in an entire week. The line was scrapped entirely by year 2017, but she didn't stop there. She also gave it a go on QVC with a jewelry collection between the years of 2010 and 2017, a line of affordable watches and costume jewelry that was priced anywhere from $30 to $200. Unlike the skincare line, this was actually considered a moderately, slightly successful, initially because of her on-camera appearances. When she became First Lady in 2017, she was criticized for including her QVC brand in her official White House bio, which critics call using the office of a president for personal profit. Yeah, the line is now defunct. Then, y'all, in 2022, she was trying to get into the NFT and buyback. There's a mystery around it. Melania entered the world of crypto with the head of state NFT collection, which included a wide brim white hat she wore during the 2018 state visit. Now, the scam allegations claim that the blockchain record showed the winning bid of roughly $170 million actually came from a digital wallet belonging to the creator of the NFT themselves. Her defense was her office denied she brought her own NFT, claiming the transaction was facilitated for a third-party buyer. But crypto experts cited it as a classic example of wash trading to fake high demand. And it doesn't stop there. We had to get into the Melania meme coin and the lawsuits between 2025 and this year, right? So late last year in 2025, a cryptocurrency named Melania was launched and promoted by the First Lady. The coin value plummeted shortly after the launch. In October of 2025, investors sued the makers of the coin for fraud. While Melania herself was not named as a defendant, the lawsuit alleged she used window dressings to lure in unsuspecting buyers for a scheme that cost investors millions. We got to keep going. Charity under scrutiny. Melania promoted a high tea event in Naples, Florida, with tickets costing up to $50,000, claiming proceeds would go to an initiative called Fostering the Future. Now, this was under investigation. Florida officials launched an inquiry because Fostering the Future was not a registered charity in that state. She denied any wrongdoing, calling it dishonest reporting, but it added to the perception of her business dealings being opaque. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think. All of those busts, all of those flops, and then we turn around here in 2026, early 2026, and we now have a movie launch that has also equally flopped. It just doesn't seem that any of these business ventures that this lady tries have any success. I don't know, y'all. Maybe she should just stick to modeling. We can't be sure. That's just my personal opinion. But that is enough on that, y'all. I can't take any more. My stomach hurt from laughing so hard. We're going to go ahead and get into the wrap-up video for this live. And we're going to hear from none other than our brother Don Lemon, who is now back home, safe and sound, out of prison. Jail. And he has a few things to say about the experience, about him being apprehended, and what he will continue to do and fight for. So let's go ahead and get into this. And I want to listen to it with y'all because it's very telling, because there's a lot of things that we see. Come on now. There's a lot of things that we're seeing happening now and that we're experiencing, not just when it comes to journalists that are reporting on politics and government, independent journalists at that. One of the things that we are noticing is there is a uptick in a movement towards silencing, okay? And we have to realize that it is part of our amendments, okay? It is our rights to be able to use and lift our voices, to report on things, to speak about things freely. It is a right that we have. And there is a lot of things being put into place where, you know, it's almost like people are feeling as though they're being silenced for whatever reason. But most of the reason we know is because a lot of individuals that are reporting or talking about certain things are bringing truths to the surface. And when you're a person who speaks up and lifts your voice and try to do content where you're bringing truth to the surface, and there's people out there that just don't want that truth to come out. And so Don is going to talk all about that experience as a real genuine journalist that has experienced this now in real time himself, but has been through a lot over the years of his journalism career, where they try to silence you for just simply telling the truth, getting the truth to the people, and doing your job and minding your business. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this video, y'all. This is the last video of the live, and after this, we will wrap it up, and I'll be back later with a few more topics we got to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and I will meet y'all in the chat per usual. So Don was having some volume issues. This is not me. So his volume or whatnot, he was having some issues with getting his settings and stuff up, which that typically can happen to all of us. And so in just a minute, he'll be right back, and the volume will be back on, and we'll hear what he has to say. So that's what we're seeing right now. Give it just a sec. I'm going to skip forward just a little bit.
To talk to the Lemonheads and the folks. So there you go. Hi, welcome to Saturday Night Lemon. What a week. So I got on yesterday a little, I was a little bit rushed because I wanted to get on time, and then I was exhausted. Have you ever been like in a situation where you're just exhausted? Well, that's where I am now, in a situation where I'm exhausted. So hi, everybody. I just came on to talk to the Lemonheads and the folks. I haven't even shaved. I was deciding all day whether I'm going to go to the Grammys or not, and talking to people about, I'm just going to be honest with you, what that looks like, because I actually came here to cover it. So, and what happened the other day is not going to move me from my mission. If you're here, make sure, wow, look at you guys are all coming in here. Thank you. If you're here, please hit the like and the thumbs up on this, because it affects the algorithm and more people become aware of our channel. So thank you for supporting independent journalism, by the way. I'm putting that up there because it's really, really important at this time. A free and fair and independent press, really important at this time. And so especially for independent journalism, as I talked about with you guys yesterday, I think that's really, really, really important in these times, because we are living in a time now where they're trying to silence the media, and we do not need folks trying to silence the media. We need a strong press that stands up, that holds power to account, and that doesn't try to minimize our voices, hide our voices. Because if people can if people can tell you what is being a journalist and what's not and all that stuff, it's crazy. And what's not covered and all that, it's like, is that even constitutional for folks to? No, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Is that even a thing where people can tell you, like, oh no, this is not what you should be doing. This is not what, whatever. So anyways, I just want to say that I believe in a free and fair press. And just so you guys know, you know, when I went to Minneapolis, I went there as a journalist, to be a journalist, and to cover a story. And that's what I did. And that's what I stand by, that my mission. And I hope you guys understand right now that I'm doing this by myself, so it's not perfect. And so that's my mission. And I am just shocked at something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, which is chronicling what's happening, not judging, informing people with the truth at times, and all of those things, that somehow that was deemed as something that we should not do, something that I've been doing for the last 30 years. And I stand with all the journalists around the world and around the country and around the world, that this is, it's outrageous. Let's see, I just want to make sure, because one never knows if I'm live or where I'm live. It doesn't matter. I'm here. I'm going to hold the power to account, and I'm not going to stop. And I am going to do what I came here to do somewhat. I'm not going to do exactly what I'm going to do on the red carpet, but right now I'm getting ready to head to a pre-Grammy event. And because I do believe that artists are a huge part of keeping our First Amendment, and they're going to be a huge part of moving us along into the future and making sure that we keep our democracy, because they are the creative ones. They are the ones who are usually unafraid. Sometimes people learn through art and they don't even realize that they are learning through art, if you know what I mean. They have no idea. The same thing with comedians. Why do you think I'm on tour with D.L. Hughley? Is because people often learn even through comedians. You learn things. What do they say? Sometimes, well, not the truth is often spoken in jest, and I believe that. And I also believe that I don't care where you get your information from, as long as it's accurate. We've been having this conversation about, people have been asking, is Don Lemon still a journalist? Is he a journalist? It's like, what? Fuck you. Yes, of course I'm a journalist. What do you think? All of the 30 some years that I've been doing that I forget overnight, or because I'm on a different platform of some sort, that somehow that usurps the journalistic credentials that I have, and all of a sudden I'm going to change? No, I have the same approach, but I realize that I'm on a different streaming platform right now, and the only thing that you're seeing is that I can be freer, that I don't have to, pull my punches, that I don't have to think about, all the people who are in the war zones and the other employees around the world who are in the company that I'm representing, because I'm representing these big 3 letters. But please, again, guys, hit the thumbs up and hit the like. It's really important, because I want many people to hear that. And I'm just going to start hopping on here even more, even when it's not perfect, because I think that you guys need to hear that. Yes, thank you. Who is it over on, someone over, I'm going to put it up.
I don't even know where to start with this. I'm going to go to Grammarly's new AI editor to see what I can come up with.
On Twitch said the same thing, capitulate. We don't need to capitulate. That's not how you deal with a bully. You deal with a bully by telling me, you guys know what you do. You punch him right in the nose. And I don't mean that physically. I'm talking about, that's a metaphor, right? I'm using that as an example of how you should conduct yourself. So if you have someone who is bullying you and you have a platform, and if that platform is a microphone, then you use that microphone to prevent them, or to combat that bullying. If you are a writer, you use the pen or the computer or whatever, or your words, or your the written word to fight back. And we saw what happened in the 30s and 40s in Germany, when people just capitulated. And the thing is that people don't capitulate because they're just like, oh, it's through fear. People are afraid because sometimes they're afraid when they don't see others standing up. Sorry, when they don't see others standing up and they become afraid. And then all of a sudden, because everybody's afraid and they don't say anything, or they want to go along, they're getting a lot of money not to say anything. I got to keep my big job. I got to do all those things that people, that they do when they're, when they become afraid, when fear is involved. And so I think that, especially in this moment, you cannot allow people to make you afraid. Even in your own life, if you're not a journalist, I always say you have to be willing to sacrifice something. And you guys think, like, when I say stuff like that, you may be thinking, excuse me, if you don't know me, you may be thinking I'm just saying that stuff. But think about what I've gone through over the course of my career and over just the last couple of days or so. You have to be willing to sacrifice something. I'm not telling you that you need to go and be arrested or any of those things. And I'm not telling you to violence or to break the law. But during the civil rights movement, to fight for civil rights, people did what John Lewis said. A lot of people said, this is get into good trouble. And by getting into good trouble, I don't necessarily mean protesting. If that's your thing, then do it. But getting into good trouble could mean that you're standing up to your organization, if you're a journalist, that says, no, you can't do that. You have to be put up, you have to do false equivalence. You got to be, make sure that when you're talking about Donald Trump, you get go easy. No, you don't do that. So that's what I mean by getting into good trouble. Because when I've had so many people, even people who you would not expect, conservatives, members of law enforcement, who said, Don, and it's going to happen sooner, but I want you to project yourself 20 years into the future, and you're going to look back and go, wow, I'm so glad I stood for something. Because cliche, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And a lot of people are falling for anything. I think that this administration has neutered pretty much the mainstream corporate media. There's still fighters out there, right? I think they've neutered that, and now they're going to come up against any sort of independent free press. That's what they're going to come and try to take down or silence. But people cannot silence what the people want. They cannot silence what the people want. So if you, as the people, if you want to continue getting free and fair and unencumbered journalism, thoughts, commentary, points of view, opinion, then you have to support those who are doing it, like a lot of you are now. So thank you very much. Let's see, I don't know how to put some of this stuff up, but thank you. Aisha Kareem for your generous support of independent media. And thank you to Aisha Kareem. Oh my gosh, all kinds of things. Much respect to you, Don. Keep speaking truth to power. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Take some non-drowsy allergy med to help you with the California pollen. Yeah, the California pollen is hitting me right now. I actually have a Claritin in there. Welcome to a new member. A new member is Sweet Texas Lady, TX Lady. Welcome to the Lemon Nation. Who else do we have here? No Drama Llama. Take some non-drowsy allergy med to help you with that. That's what No Drama said. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm going to do that, as a matter of fact. Tim, if you are watching, can you please bring me some tissue? That would be great. That's what I just started doing this when I got on this feed, and I think it's because it's warm in here, and I open the door of where I'm staying at a really good friend's place. I opened the door, and there the allergies came, all of the pollen. Republicans better wake up. A dictator doesn't need Congress. Thank you very much, Don Stanley. Right on to you. Right on to you. I think people think that, I see that there are some trolls in the comments. I think people think like I'm really scared. I am not. And you don't even know the experience that I had over the last couple of days. And I will talk about them at some point, and I'll see, maybe it's sooner than later, but we'll see. But it wasn't at all what I expected in many ways. And as a journalist, it was quite a learning experience, taking many, many, many notes. And so when you're in certain positions, you have to think about, I think as a journalist, I always think about what's the positive experience in this? What do I do? And I sort of take notes, mental notes. If I have a device or whatever, I'll say something into it. But I have so many thoughts, and what this did was really open my eyes to a lot. So if you think that I was outspoken before this, just wait. Just wait. So I know that there are people who think like, oh, do this, and that I'm going to be locked up or whatever. I ain't worried about that.
You guys, I cannot get over how good these Wagyu steaks are.
You heard the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I ain't even worried about that. Like, not. Don't even think about it. So whatever happens, I always think that something good is always going to happen. And something usually good always happens if you have that mindset. Thank you very much. If you have that, Tim, can you just say hi? Come around here. So Tim, on social media, my gosh, Hi, there's Tim. Sorry about that. Social media, babe, has been going really strong on Tim. They were saying you are Kevin Costner in The Bodyguard, and that you were going coming to get me because you had that mean mug on yesterday. So thank you.
Oh, you got it.
You got that's it. You don't want to be on anymore. You're. Everybody's saying hello to you. Do you want to say hi? They said, Tim, you're a badass. Okay, Tim's gonna be in the chat. Am I live on all the platforms? Okay, anyways. Yeah. Tim's he's a good man, Savannah. Tim is not playing. I'm telling you, my husband does not play. You guys say, look, it took me a while to get married, to settle down and be in like a long time. I was in long-term relationships, but to get married. And in order for me to do that, it had to be a really good man. So yes, Tim is my bodyguard. And I will always love you. Oh my gosh. Yes, crazy. Everyone deserves a partner like Tim. I know. You guys are so funny. Hey, where are my Lemonheads on Twitch? I haven't you on Twitch? Yeah, I'm on Twitch. Okay, great. Twitch. What is it? Twitch.tv/DonLemon. And we're on Twitch, and of course we're on YouTube. And you guys are saying hi to Tim. Tim is fine. Of course, my man is fine. What do you think? He was. Oh, that's okay. And so, I know I was supposed to put in the live key and I didn't. So y'all are cute. But anyway, let me tell you. So I told you what happened. Like the popo came to get me in the middle of the night, and and then the experience unfolded from there. And then the next day I was the truth shall set you free. And I'm not saying anything that you guys don't know, like released on my own recognizances. I don't have to pay anything or anything like that. And here I am, and I can go and free and go and be, do whatever I want. Nothing has changed except, now I have to stand up for myself and then do the whole, whatever the whole legal thing is, which is fine. I have been as you know, if you're a person of a certain age and you've been around for a long time, problems always present themselves. It's not life. You're not living unless you have problems or issues or things that come up that you have to solve. And so after you get to a certain level and you deal with so many things, you develop a tolerance for compartmentalizing things, and you know what to worry about and what not to worry about. And usually, here's the whole point of it, is not to worry at all, because what que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. And I know people think that they control everything, and you don't control anything. Life is going to life, no matter what. And so in the moments that you're in, you live every single one of those moments. You live every single one of those moments, and you don't worry about all of the BS, because the BS always presents itself. But what people hate more than anything, and you know who said it. This is the funny thing, who actually is someone who was really always very kind to me. Nothing like the other members of her family. And used to tell me what she raised her kids to be like and to do, and how there was a certain person who wasn't really involved in their lives. And that is Ivana Trump. Donald Trump's late wife. She would always tell me, she'd go, "You're so handsome. How are you, my handsome friend?" And I would just run into her like socially. And I would talk, she would talk to me. She goes, "You're doing a great job." She was just so nice. And she came up with the saying, "The best revenge is success." And so I never worry about getting back, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I never worry about getting back at people or things, because it always presents itself. But first of all, success is the best revenge is success. She's absolutely 100% right.
All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and end that video there. There is another half to it. So if you guys want to check it out, please support our boy Don Lemon. Go over to his channel. If you are not already subscribed and haven't become a member or watched any of his content, please go over there and support Don Lemon. He's a wonderful journalist. We've seen his journey all the way from CNN and now independent journalist, boots on the ground, really doing the necessary work and getting the stories and the truth out there that we as the people need and deserve. So salute to Don Lemon, and thank you, Lord, for bringing him home safe and sound, and all the others, Lord, that you have brought home safe and sound and will continue to bring home safe and sound. Let's not forget about little Liam, 5 years old. He needs to be brought home safe and sound alongside his father as well. And we'll keep talking about these stories and bringing these things to the forefront for us to remember, because we don't want these type of things getting swept under the rug and forgotten about because they're too important. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed me some Don, child. He is hilarious. And him and Tim, they is just so cute together. I'm so happy for them. And so, yeah, I'm just going to cut that a little bit short. But like he says, you know, the best revenge, we heard Beyonce say is your paper, but they say the best revenge or the best, you know, best way to get back to somebody is with your success. You know, you don't always have to wreak vengeance or get revenge. You just got to keep it pushing, follow your path, walk the footsteps necessary, and get and reach the goals that God has for you. And once you reach that and people see you winning and thriving and making it, I'm telling you, child, the people can't say anything after that. So stick to your journey. Never give up. Don't let nobody silence you. Don't let nobody throw you off your course. Don't let nobody change your energy or change who you are as a person and how you show up in this world. You continue to be you. You bring your gifts and your talents to the forefront, and you keep pushing and you keep marching with those boots on the ground and your heart in the right place. And remember, you know, there is a higher power that guides us along the way of all of this. Respectfully, different higher powers, we all may see it as, but it is all a higher power. And so we tap into that energy and we keep our faith and we keep our strength and we keep marching forward. And I'm telling you, y'all, you will see. We're going to get to the end of that tunnel, and there's always light there. So no matter what we go through, no matter what our hardships are, no matter what the obstacles that come in our way in our lives that we feel as though we can't get over or get around or bust through, we will be able to, and we were going to make it to that other side one way or another. And so, y'all, I hope y'all really enjoyed this live. We had a little bit of things that were funny. We had a little bit of things that are unfortunate. We're hoping and praying it's not going to happen. We have great news, all of it right here, y'all, in this live, and I'll have more this evening to bring to y'all as well. But I thank you so much for all of your support and tuning in and listening. Come by anytime. All are welcome. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here with a bop per usual. I'm going to play about 2 bops this afternoon for y'all, because I'm just in a music mood. And I will talk to y'all on the next live later this evening. So I hope that you all have a great rest of the day, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night for you, whatever weather you have. And remember, be safe. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. And I will talk to y'all on the next one. All right. Golden signing out. Bye.
Yeah. They thought we were sleeping. Woke up! Woke up! Woke up! Wake up! 1 weekend, Numa lost the Fox and the DHS. She was playing checkers while we're dealing with this mess. Last credit in the street, nurse with illegal heat. Hosted in the holster, but they killed him for the feet. Yeah, the surges hitting cities, call it metro, call it war. They're knocking down the Constitution on the bedroom door. Sleep is split. Massey screaming, what's the price? A new one's on the stand, yeah, she's skating on the ice. They stripped the bill, they removed the clause. No safety for the people, they're breaking all the laws. Pocket in the room, yeah, she's looking at the files. Comers out of time, she's been waiting for the trial. We got boots on the earth, I'm moving through the mist. They want the total surge, we're coming with the fist. Boots on the ground, yeah, the narrative is dead. Trump firing the chiefs while the streets are seeing red. Stay loud. We're seeing the growth of the resistance, the persistence. 2-way to the left, unlikely alleys, fighting back against the state that spawns a death. Listen close, listen close, listen close, listen close. They remove the ban on deporting the citizens. They're current appearing for the bullets in the prisons. From Indianapolis to DC, the wall is falling down. They can't stop the movement when we're holding down the town. Got boots on the ground, moving through the mist. They want the total surge, we're coming with the fist. Boots on the ground, yeah, the narrative is dead. Trump firing the chiefs while the streets are seeing red. Stay out, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down. The surge is crumbling. We see it. We see it all.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let it ring out loud. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Like the mighty waters. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. We remember it all. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Hope is alive, yeah. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on. Let's keep marching till victory is won. Stony the road we trod. Bitter the castanet rock. But we're still here.
To the right place. Welcome to the rain. Golden Queen. H2.0. Let's get it. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, yeah, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear. Yo, welcome to the queendom. H2.0 on your screen, with the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and rearrange. So if you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must. This ain't just another another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators building up of the scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message in the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought. So come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned. Yeah. Don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned. Yeah. Don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned. Yeah. Yeah. Golden Queen Age 2.0. The movement starts now. Go ahead. Hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. You don't want to miss a thing. Welcome to the family.